In today's video, I'm going to show you how I use some pendant trays and some glass domes along with some acrylic skins to make some jewelry and some bookmarks. I do save a lot of my leftover paint so that I can use it to make other items. Sometimes the paint is thick enough that I just save it on its own. Sometimes I also save it on freezer paper, and then sometimes I use canvas that I've painted on that if I didn't like the whole piece, I just cut the canvas off of the wood and use that to make other items. So I have some owl pendant trays and some Hamsahan pendant trays for bookmarks, and then I also have some oval pendant trays and teardrops for necklaces. And I buy all these pieces separately and then put them together. And I just start out by placing the glass domes on top of my skins and using some jewelry glue to glue the glass onto the skin. Sometimes I just take my glass dome and move it over my acrylic skin until I really find the portion of the piece that I want to save and use. And as you can see, my pieces are large enough that I can use multiple glass pieces on each one. So even once I cut out this circle or the ovals for the jewelry, I will save the skin in case I want to use it again. The jewelry glue that I'm using dries clear. I buy it online. There are multiple different brands that you can find. I know a lot of craft stores like Hobby Lobby and Michaels sell something similar that you can use. Once I place the glue and the glass piece down, I just press on it for a few seconds to not only get any air bubbles out, but also make sure that the glass is adhered to the acrylic skin. Once I have all of my pieces glued down, I let everything dry for anywhere from 12 to 24 hours. And once it's completely dry, I just take scissors and cut around my glass piece so that I have my piece that I'm going to glue into my pendant tray. There are also different types of glue that you can use to glue your glass piece and the acrylic skin into the pendant tray. I used to use E6000, but I've actually started mixing up a really small amount of epoxy resin and using the resin to adhere everything together. It works well for me, and for some reason with some glues I was getting air bubbles, but with the resin I have not had as many issues with air bubbles. So you can use whatever you feel works best. With the resin, I only mix up a small amount. I use probably about 1/2 of a tablespoon of the hardener and 1/2 of the epoxy resin. Mix that together following any instructions that the resin has, and then just put small amounts of that into the pendant tray. And then I put the glass and the skin into the tray and then gently squeeze on it or press it down and make sure that any excess resin is just wiped off with a paper towel. Since resin is toxic, I do wear gloves. You definitely don't want it on your skin. If you do get it on your skin, you can use rubbing alcohol to remove it. And if there are a lot of fumes from either the glue or the resin, you should always protect yourself by wearing a face mask. Once all of my pieces are glued together, I again let them sit for about a day for everything to be all nice and hardened. And then if you're using some of the pieces as necklaces, you can add chains, or if you're using the other pieces as bookmarks, you can go ahead and use those. But this is a really awesome way to use up your leftover paint and to save it. Using freezer paper works really well for me. It has a shiny side, and when the paint dries on it, it peels right off. Some other people use silicone mats. So there are a lot of different ways that you can save your paint and use them for other projects. I hope you guys liked this video. Please let me know if you have any comments. You can leave those down below. And I will see you all in the next one.